Howdy partners, this is ICE. Remember how it said, or I'll hate you for it, bringing you another 1 vs 1 Dawn of War 2 Retribution ranked commentary. If you're curious as to why I'm starting this video a little bit early before I actually have found an ideal match, apparently it is what it's looking for, it's because I need to make a couple things clear. I did upload, or I'm going to be uploading a video as the first one I recorded, and then the next two that I actually recorded I'm not going to be uploading, and I'd like to explain that before the game actually starts so I can actually talk more about what I'm doing in the game while I'm playing it. What ended up happening in the second game that I recorded was I played against an Eldar player. It was actually the same guy I played twice in a row, and the name was FEHCE Forever, and he was indeed playing the FEHCE, and it was an absolutely spectacular match. But the thing was, in the end, the game ended up coming down to the fact that he got 6 squads of Wraith Lords and bum rushed into my base and took it down before there was anything I could really do against it. Wraith Lord just absolutely being the most powerful at taking out enemy bases. And I felt like, you know, that was the most incredibly cheese move that I've ever seen. And as far as learning anything from it, I don't feel like there really was anything about it other than the fact that my army was across the map, and, you know, because it was across the map, it couldn't come back to support the base and prevent it from going down. So a little bit frustrated about that game, but at the same time, it is a legitimate style of play. It's just I'm not going to be uploading it because there really wasn't much to learn about it. You know, he lost a bunch of units in the beginning and then decided that he was going to get a buttload of Wraith Guard and then just charge into my base. And I was trying to be smart and go around and capture because the Wraith Guard were so immobile. And I didn't realize that he was going to just charge right into my base and blow it up. And then the third game that I recorded, I started to record, I basically explained the exact same thing that I just did a minute before, and the guy called me a fag and then dropped. Like, the game hadn't even really started. He just called me a fag and left, which I laughed about. You know, it didn't really bother me. It's the internet, big deal, whatever. You know, you're always going to find people who are going to say crap like that to you. But yeah, going ahead and getting into this game, it says I am indeed favored, and this is going to be the last Tyranid I'm going to play, at least for just a little bit, because I feel like I should be mixing it up, making it entertaining, and also helping people learn how to play this game at the same time. And it's kind of hard to do that if you're only playing one race all the time. So anyway, yeah, probably going to be doing Imperial Guard next, if you're curious. Going ahead and starting to capture, we're playing against Imperial Guard on Green Tooth Jungle, and I have really mixed feelings about this map. As a Space Marine, I know it is just the bane of my existence because your bases are right next to each other, and the map is incredibly long, and your units are just very slow. It takes a while for them to get out there and capture and everything, and if you end up getting forced back, there goes pretty much all of your map control against a faster race. Now, against maybe like Chaos or other Space Marines, it is fairly balanced because you're roughly about the same speed. The only difference with Chaos is those heretics are a little bit better at holding their own if you split them from the main army, as opposed to scouts. Scouts are very bad at holding their own. Yep, so we're just going and starting capturing and everything. Haven't engaged yet. Don't think we will for just a little bit. And I'm going to keep my Lictor Alpha right here. We're going to give him the pheromones, because I tried it once and I was like, that is just delicious. And, you know, as long as your squad doesn't end up getting that, like, goofy moment where it drops down to, like, 100 health and not a model has lost, which has happened, but usually not on squads with weaker models, but with more of them. So, and he's playing as Imperial Guard, so if he's got the Commissar Lord or the Inquisitor, we're going to want those toxin sacks to prevent them from getting too close into melee with us and doing the damage that they really want to. And yes, you can see right there, he does have the Commissar Lord, and we are going to use that, and we are going to pop pheromones. Hurry, there you go. And yeah, you can see losing a model, just reinforcing it right on the spot, and that is a hard thing for guardsmen to deal with. And you can tell he's just not absolutely thrilled with that at all. Surprisingly, didn't lose more than a single model, which is, you know, really not, I guess, you know, that would be my luck. But at the same time, it is good because we did force him off without taking critical damage. So, can't complain. But yeah, you can see how there I prevented his Commissar Lord from getting into melee with me. I prevented his guardsmen from doing that good long range fire that they generally love to get done. And you can see that, you know, where he should have probably had a sentinel, maybe I might have been able to dealt with that pretty well, but, you know, his lack of a sentinel really hurting him because my Hormagaunts were just absolutely able to get into the melee with those guardsmen, reinforce using that pheromone cloud, and just wreak havoc on those guardsmen, giving us all of the map control. You can see right now it's just it's blue everywhere, and that is a good color to see, especially if you are playing this game, unless you are playing TF2. And yeah, you can see right now he is going to go for a Gen Bash on me, and I'm going to counter with a Gen Bash of my own. And the reason why is because guardsmen, if you are not absolutely careful with your generators, you will lose the game like easily. And you can see, wow, going for double Catachans, definitely spending way too heavily into tier 1, way too heavily, and that's gonna hurt him coming up. And we're going to flesh hook one of those guardsmen, getting a message over Skype, and you know, always love getting messages. But yeah, going to put our generators up here now because there's no way that we're going to be able to prevent that from going down, and not going to be able to really do anything with it. So because of all those guardsmen and Catachans there. Yep, and you can see right there he lost all of his generators, and as a guardsman that is the most painful thing for you. Your mana cores, they're like 300 requisition and are, what is it, 100 power. That is that is a lot. I mean, if you lose your powers early on like that, it's just, you know, forget ever getting them early in the game, which you really shouldn't get them early in the game because you really need those units to buffer any other units that would cause them harm, and which is pretty much about any unit, because it has vehicle armor, but that vehicle armor for some reason is about as thin as tissue paper. Yeah. And yeah, so got those Catachans out on the field, not really sure what I should pull out, but we're gonna go for Tyrant Guard. And I'm thinking Tyrant Guard because the Tyrant Guard has super heavy armor, and with those Catachans out on the field, maybe might actually be able to do something, at least let it tank a little bit more damage than any other unit that I might be able to send out in front. and then support it with the rest of the units that I have. And let's see. We've got the Corrosive Claws, and the Corrosive Claws is a good upgrade for the Lictor Alpha. Just have to be very careful with how you use him. And we are going to avoid upgrading that offense right now, and the reason why is because with those Catachans out on the field, I really want him to be more support capable than offensively capable, because engaging Catachans in melee will just absolutely destroy him. So, but yeah, you see he found my other gen farm, but not before I could get these units out. And yeah, going to run up and engage. These guys are going to go over here and attack. And yeah, you can see right here, we're going to pop pheromones and run away. And yeah, so we got the pheromones out, and for some reason actually able to push him away. I definitely think that was a bit of a preemptive maneuver on his part. He should have stayed a little bit longer, if not to do just a little bit more damage to my gaunts. And yeah, so that's not... Oh boy. Oh no. Whew, that was close. Search for mines, Tyrant Guard. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and get our generators back up. And if we can do that and keep them, then we can get into tier 3, really benefit from that. And you can see those mines blowing up harmlessly, almost harmlessly, on the Tyrant Guard. He doesn't care because he's big, bad, and tough armor mountain of chitin. And yeah, you can see that those mines still catching those gaunts, but not taking any model losses, surprisingly, which is okay by me. Gaunt's very cheap. And we're going to cloak and run over here and be like, "Hi, guardsmen. Nice to see you again." And yeah, there we go. Did a fairly good job of clearing out. Going to get other gen farm up. And we're going to have to run away. Those Catachans are hurting me pretty bad. Rampage out of there. And yeah, there you go. Getting pretty good, you know. Uh-oh. Tyrant Guard turned around at the absolute wrong time. And yep, taking some shots in the back. We're gonna... there you go. Drop some spore mines. And yeah, there we go. Hi, Catachans. Boom. And suppress them. Even if just for a little bit, doing some not bad damage. Getting our generators back up, and we're gonna go into tier 3. And yeah, you can see we found the Catachans, and oh boy. And that Tyrant Guard doing just exactly what we wanted it to do, to tank that additional damage and prevent our other units from dying. Unfortunately, that did not go so well for our Hormagaunts, but Hormagaunts are fairly cheap, so I said go into your shield. And we lose our Tyrant Guard at the cost of beating the crud out of Catachans. Not worth it, but it did give us back that crucial map control, so we're going to go make something of it. And our Rippers are going to come over here, see what we can do. Double gen farms, and I know that at most he could possibly have is 1 gen farm. Yeah. And we're going to have our Rippers come over here and just eat. Got tier 3 now. And we're going to back up. And yeah, you can see he doesn't have too much out on the field right now. And we're going to... Gonna go on back home, and we're going to purchase a Swarm Lord. This time we are going to be as careful as we possibly can with it, remembering all the times where we had the Swarm Lord out on the field and we were like, yes, we got the Swarm Lord, and we just overextended it and it just died. Not something you want to do. Always want to be careful. Even though I don't think there's anything over there, we're going to poke in here using Cloak. Good idea, especially because we've got the adrenal gland. And we're going to go ahead and just capture this. That way we don't fall too far behind in points. And we also have pretty darn good map, well, no, actually we don't have map control at all right now because of those Catachans, unfortunately. I'm going to get the Swarm Lord, and we're going to save up for a Carnifex and before we push out. That way we have the support from the Carnifex, as well as the speed buff and the hard tanking ability from the Swarm Lord. And once we have that, we can use another ability other than pheromones, because the Swarm Lord will allow us to reinforce right next to him. So we would no longer need oh, we keep hitting mines, that's what it is. And yeah, going to always make sure that you support your Swarm Lord. Wasn't too bad of a situation right there. Think I might have sent him out just a little too quick. But yeah, you can see that speed he gets, all the other units around him, a big benefit. Massive, absolutely massive benefit. And we are just waiting on the 160 power so we can go ahead and get that Carnifex. And we're going to equip the Venom Cannon to it. And if you're wondering why we equip the Venom Cannon to it, it is because it gives the Carnifex the nice anti-vehicle armor. I mean, no, anti-armor weapon. Sorry. And it does a ton of damage. I mean, it does pretty good damage versus anything, to be honest. I mean, and you can see right here, he's trying to make something happen with that Chimera. Not working out too well for him. I mean, he's not doing anything bad or wrong. It's just, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. And we're going to get Menacing Visage, and we're going to use that to make his Catachans and other units that we do not like to see out on the field run back home. And that'll give us a strategic advantage out on the field. And yeah, you can see, here we go. Got big bad Carnifex coming out. And those guardsmen just going to melt away. And he's going to fall back. A good idea. And the Carnifex and the Swarm Lord definitely should stay together. Going to purchase the Venom Cannons first. Come on, Carnifex. There you go. And we're going to move up here with our bulky army and go ahead and capture that point back so we do not lose a lot of points. And you can see that just right there with that Swarm Lord nearby him, he is just so fast. Tried to use the Bioplasma. We whiffed it. And yeah, for some reason, oh, there you go. Yeah, he is. And yeah, you can see even though it's supposed to be an anti-vehicle weapon, doing very good at taking out infantry anyway. It makes sense. It's because it's fluff. And we're going to back away. Don't want to chase him into his base. Give him that benefit of the homeland defense. Getting the HP regeneration, as well as having those turrets. Though against these armored units, not really that big of a benefit. And we're going to stick right here. Oh, make sure that we continue to capture. And yeah, you can see that Chimera not doing so well versus this Venom Cannon. The Venom Cannon just incredibly powerful. And he's doing the smart thing and capturing the victory point on the back of me, abusing the immobility of my army, which is a very smart move. And you can see this Carnifex just not having any of that mess. And we're going to use, again, Terrifying Visage and sending those Ogrins back home. I felt like they were going to be the most threatening, in my opinion, against me. And using the Leech Essence, and being that there are so many units over here, my Swarm Lord just able to keep himself alive, giving him some incredible life and longevity. Going to bring out the Corrosive Claws. And here in a little bit, I feel like we would benefit fairly well from a Zoanthrope. I hope I'm saying that wrong. If I'm saying that wrong ever, let me know. Because I do not want to look stupid like that. But yeah, getting the Corrosive Claws, it is power melee, and it increases his offensive power while giving the striking damage additional, like anything that it hits takes additional damage from any other unit. So it's a really big deal. Should definitely try and use it if you haven't. I mean, I've actually seen this thing do damage to a Dreadnought because it makes it take more striking damage. I mean, it does damage to a Dreadnought. I've seen it done. Also very good if you've got units that do good damage versus armor too. So you can see these guardsmen over here. Woo, boy, we're gonna run. Not much where we can run. Hopefully we can squeeze by that without taking too bad losses. And are we going to get away? No. No, we're not. Unfortunate. But, yeah, you can't win them all. And at least we lost the ones that were unupgraded. So, pretty good for us. And we're going to just back up a little bit. Actually, we're going to back out, go back home. And what we want to do is, because of his overwhelming numbers in infantry, we want to get another Carnifex with that barbed strangler. And the reason why I wouldn't get a warrior brood right now with the barbed strangler is because of how much infantry he's got on the field with the Catachans. They're just too soft and they wouldn't last long enough. And we don't want we don't want to be losing any units at this point in the game. Not like that anyway. Plus, this gives our Swarm Lord a good chance to heal up. He is not like vehicles. You cannot heal him out on the battlefield, which there's a duality to it. A good part and a bad part. The good part is you know, he heals back at home, and he heals fairly quickly too. But the bad part about it is you can't heal him on the field, so if he ever gets caught out of position, you better be ready to support him, because there's no way that you're going to be able to heal him and prevent him from dying. So, and yeah, there we go. You can see he's being very smart and preventing my Lictor from really capturing anything. But, yep, dropping in on him, blowing up on him, and this does a lot of damage to guardsmen. You definitely want to watch your guardsmen against Tyranids, because stuff like this cannon will happen. And if you lose, or if you're not paying attention, you can and will lose your squads. And yep, we're going to need some more power, but you know what? We cannot wait any longer to engage. And so we're going to run on out here and just eat your face. And we're going to again use Menacing Visage, and he's going to knock me down, and boom, there you go, run on home. And yep, doing everything there that we could have possibly have done, and right. And you can see these Carnifex, I mean this Carnifex and the Swarm Lord, doing an incredible job of beating the living crap out of these guardsmen. And yeah, you can see right here, he's like, oh noes, my mana core, and we want to get that. We absolutely want to get that. Because if we don't get that, then he'll just be able to shell me from a distance. Not very good for me. And there you go. And doing a good job actually right now of taking care of business. And yep, going to go over here and capture. We're going to send this unit out here and capture. And right now would be an excellent time to go ahead and charge into his base, do damage, and try and kill off as many units as we can. Because right now you can see very close in points, and you do not want that as a Tyranid, especially versus guardsmen with these units. And yeah, you can see we're just tearing right into them. And he's doing a fairly good job of defending himself. I mean, not that that is a surprise or anything, but you know, And you taking out that Ogren squad, absolutely just crucial. And yeah, using that bioplasma, sorry, and just putting the hurt on the infantry units. And he should be getting an autocannon pretty soon, if I'm not mistaken. That's what I would be doing in this situation. And that barbed strangler just boom! Ow! That hurts. You know it does. He calls the GG because I kept him contained in his base and I had the superior units. He had probably very little requisition, trying to keep a lot of his units alive, if not absolutely none. And yeah, you can see that time doing very well as the Tyranids, being very conservative with our Swarm Lord and our Carnifexes. And then when push came to shove and I was like, alright, we gotta make something happen right now. Okay, that was weird. But a 5K ranked player. That was pretty neat, actually. Very fun game. I enjoyed it. But yeah, definitely, you know, getting the right units, getting the right combination, that menacing visage, definitely helping me out. Those Ogrins would have been able to do a lot more damage to me, and that could have tipped it in his balance, or in his favor, and you don't want you don't want that to happen when you're at such a close game like that. And definitely had a lot of fun. And yeah, so if you like this game, leave a like. If you like to leave a comment, you know, oh, this isn't right, or correct me on something, or just to talk to me or something, I'd love to see a comment from you guys. A lot of you have been very, very vocal with your thoughts, your feelings, and your support, and I appreciate it, and I absolutely love it. You guys make me feel very good about what I do. And if you love the video and you would love to see more of them, I'd love to have you as a subscriber. So yeah, this is I Sincere. Remember how it said, or I'll hate you for it, and I'll catch you partners later.